I make projects as a way of figuring out the world. So when I encounter something that I'm confused by or unsure of how I feel about it, or really upset about or really excited about, in order to really understand what I think, I have to make a work about it. So Ghost Food is a food truck. We serve flavors of soon-to-be unavailable foods, meaning foods that are threatened with extinction by climate change. And the way you consume Ghost Food is you wear the direct olfactory stimulation device, which is a kind of a heads-up display that sits on your face, and it holds a scent to your nose. So the way you eat foods after they no longer exist on Earth is you actually smell an artificially created scent of that food. So for example, chocolate. So the cacao tree is a threatened species because rainforests are getting smaller and being plagued by things like heat or different pests because of the rise in heat. So chocolate is one food that is endangered. So you smell chocolate and then you eat what we call an edible textural substitute made from climate change resilient foods. So what that means is it's like the food and it has the same texture, but it's made from something that is climate change resilient. So in our case, we serve chocolate milk. So you smell chocolate, you drink milk, or you smell peanut butter and you eat this kind of paste made out of soy and salt, pretty much. And what it does, because so much of our experience of flavor is olfactory, meaning sense, through either through the smell that comes through your nose or through the smell that comes through the back of your throat. In combination with the text, if you get the right texture and you get the right smell, your brain is perceiving that it's actually eating this food when in fact it's not. So that's the way Ghost Food works. The way it functions is it was a food truck. It had a big sign, kind of like the Hollywood sign that said Ghost Food on top. And we went around to 5 different cities: Newark, New York, Philadelphia, Albuquerque, Baltimore. And we served Ghost Food. We would park in different locations and open up for service. And people would come through and kind of choose one of the foods and try this experience and engage with the servers, who would then talk to them about what they think about eating like this and what it means for the future and for the climate and for their children. Human cheese is cheese made from human milk. It was made in New York, so humans are the most populated mammals in New York City. So I decided if I was going to make a really local cheese, I would have to use the mammals at hand. I made 3 different cheeses from the milk of 3 different women and decided what kind of cheese and what the food that would be served with that cheese based on the terroir of the women, meaning the environmental, historical, cultural context that the woman was living in. So everything she eats goes into her milk, everything she breathes goes into her milk too, to some level or another. And ultimately I opened the Lady Cheese Shop, which served these cheeses to the public, where they came in and decided once they smelled it and saw it if they wanted to eat human cheese or not.
I'm interested in the way that they question the things that we think we already know, and the way that they challenge us to maybe confront things that we didn't know yet. I'm interested in the way that people's, the way perceptions can change. So we view the world a certain way. We sort of go about our lives viewing that way. There are things and experiences and that can change that. And then all of a sudden the world changes. So with the Ghost Food, that it's an interesting experience, but in the end it gets you to think about our relationship to the natural world through food and the things that we might not have, and maybe not taking them for granted, and then understanding, as the project is supposed to sort of trigger the audience to start thinking about the bigger picture. And then human chi is the same way, but in that case, right, it's taboo. It's something that's very strange, and I didn't get a chance to actually experience it, but the idea of something that then there's this experience of smelling it, of tasting it, and then how that would change your perception, especially since smell is really such a strong sense.